Well, of course, on the other side, Kyori, I do know you're still interacting with the VIPs who are coming. I've just saw Senator of Tana River, that is Danson Mungatana, a while ago, and of course Kasim Tandaza. But here, we are here with the locals still streaming in. You can see the locals are still coming in. It is already full to the brim. Only the VIP section where the VIPs are expected. But in terms of the locals who are already here from Kwale County have already arrived. I want to get the thoughts of a community health volunteers. There are Mashujaa in just a few. Wewe kama CHV leo unajivunia kuwa shujaa, na utueleze eneo lako yenye unaoperate in, utueleze ni unafanya hasa.
Mimi ni shujaa kwa sababu sio CHV tena, saizi ni CHP, Community Health Promoter. Sawa? Na mimi najivunia kuwa shujaa kwa sababu mimi ninasaidia jamii. Sawa, ninasaidia jamii kutoka katika nyumba, kwa sababu mimi nina nyumba 100 katika area yangu ya kufanya kazi, na mimi nahudumia watu wote katika jamii, kuanzia mwanamke akiwa na mimba, shughuli zake za family planning, akiwa na mimba hapo tunaenda naye mpaka mtoto afike miaka 5, ndio tutakuwa sasa mwanamke anakuwa safe na mtoto wake. Ya kazi zingine pia huwa sasa hivi tunaandikisha registration ya SHA. Tulitoka kwa NHIF, sasa hivi tuna SHA. Kwa hivyo sasa hivi tuna register wananchi kuhusiana na swala zima la insurance. Yep.
Jambo kwa hiyo la SHA, mnasaidiaje haswa Wizara ya Afya kuhakikisha kuwa wakazi wanajisajili na SHA?
Tunawaelimisha kuwa haswa imezinduliwa kuwa SHA ndio ambayo sasa hivi imereplace NHIF. Kwa hivyo wao tunawahamasisha, alafu pia tunaenda katika nyumba zetu ambazo tunafanya kazi nazo ili waweze kufanya nini, kujiregister katika SHA, na sasa hivi wanafanya hivyo.
Maybe changamoto yenye umeweza kushuhudia kama CHP ni gani, na ungependa Wizara ya Afya isuluhishe?
Kwa kweli changamoto zipo, na sasa hivi unajua swala hili la CHP halijakuwa wazi katika sera. Kwa hivyo ni serikali yetu ya county inafanya juhudi hizi sera zipitishwe katika bunge ili zile changamoto zetu ambazo tunazo tuweze kuzifanya nini, kuzimitigate. Changamoto ziko, kwa hivyo hatuwezi kusema changamoto kwa sababu sisi hatujaajiriwa, ni watu wa kujitolea. Kwa hivyo tunasaidia jamii yetu ili waweze kupata huduma za afya.
Labda wito wako wa mwisho, si kwa wakazi tu wa Kwale bali nchini?
Kwa kweli ni kujikamua katika maisha yetu. Maisha ni magumu kwa kweli, lakini lazima tujikwamue. Sawa, lazima tujikwamue katika maisha haya, na kwa kweli sote sisi ni mashujaa, kwa sababu uhuru tumeuona. Sasa hivi ni wakati wa kujivunia kama mashujaa wa taifa hili letu la Kwale, taifa hili letu la Kenya, na hasa kwa wakazi wa Kwale. Chombo hichi ambacho kimejengwa sasa hivi, unaona watu wengi wamekuja katika chombo hichi Kwale Stadium. Kwa kweli ni mara yetu ya mwanzo, na tunajivunia kwa sababu infrastructure yote ambayo imetengenezwa Kwale Town sasa hivi imekuwa juu. Sasa hivi ni municipal, na tunakubali serikali kazi inayofanya Rais Ruto, kwa sababu Rais wetu Ruto pia ukumbuke ndio ambaye alitupandisha tuwe Community Health Promoters, CHPs. Kwa hivyo pia sisi tunampongeza pamoja na county government, Governor Achani na wizara yote ya afya kwa ujumla, kwa sababu wao ndio wanatujenga sisi katika mafunzo kuweza kufanya kazi katika nyanja. Kwa hivyo sote wa Kenya ni mashujaa, Kwale County ni mashujaa, na tunamshukuru sana Rais Ruto kwa kutunyanyua sisi CHPs na Kwale County kwa jumla kwa hizi infrastructures ambazo zifanyikana kwa sasa hivi katika haya Mashujaa Day. Mimi nimesema kitu kimoja tu, unajua Kwale ni ile sleeping giant, na kwa kweli hii sleeping giant sasa hivi ameamshwa. Huu Rais Ruto amemwamsha huu sleeping giant ambao ni Kwale County 002.
Shukran sana. naendelea na kazi nzuri sana. Tumeshukuru sana. Asante kwa kuungana nasi. And of course, that is just one of the community health promoters here. You've just heard he's operating within Kwale Bomba. You do know the CHP play a critical role since the inception that was necessitated due to the myriad of challenges that the society is facing health-wise, so as to curb them. And of course, it's like bringing a clinic to your doorstep. And of course, they're addressing some of the health issues. You've just heard in terms of pregnancies, you don't have to walk all the way to health facilities that are far away from you to receive treatment or even medication, or even get at least a little bit of medical prescription and requirements for you to, of course, get better at the end of the day. You can see, as you're being shown, the stadium is already packed. Just the VIP section where my colleague John Jacob Kuria is where the VIPs are still streaming in. But in terms of the locals, they're already seated, waiting with a bated breath for the Mashujaa Day. Remember, this is the 61st and the first of its kind to be hosted here in Kwale County. These celebrations, national celebrations in the coastal belt, have been coming to Mombasa County, which is the mainland. And as I can tell you, not just from here, Kwale residents all around the country have at least streaming into this stadium. It is a over 10,000 seater stadium that was built in conjunction with the county government and the national government as well, especially from the Ministry of Sports. We want to get just views of the residents. Let's just try and talk to them to just tell us the expectations. And given that they have seen a myriad of developments in just a few days or so, where the roads have been expanded, even the buildings have been repainted, cabrons have been placed in places that were not there before. In terms of development, we're already seeing the goodies, not just from the national government, but from the county government that is being led by Fatuma Achani. Right now, this is the entertainment section. Maybe just tuweze kuzungumza na wakazi hapa. Baba, habari yako? Jina langu ni Abdi kutoka KBC. Maybe zungumza na Wakenya, we kama mkazi kidogo, tusimama na sisi. Tueleze hii leo unahisi vipi kama mkazi wa Kwale Mashujaa imekuja?
Kwa majina anaitwa Hassan Kabi. Mimi ni mkazi wa Kwale. Kwa kweli nafurahia sana kwa kuandaa ama kushuhudia hii sherehe ya Mashujaa mwaka huu. Hili ni jambo ambalo sijawahi shuhudia. Hii ni mara yangu ya kwanza. Kwa hivyo nimefurahi sana.
Labda wito wako kwa serikali ni yepi, hasa ikihusiana na blue economy? Wavuvi ndio hawa, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mnashughulikia masuala ya blue economy. Maybe wito wako kwa serikali ni gani, hasa kwa sekta ya blue economy pamoja na utalii?
Mimi wito wangu kwa serikali ni kuhimiza tu serikali ijaribu sana kuinua uchumi, especially hapa kwetu Kwale. Hii blue economy, vijana wengi wapate kazi, waajiriwe, ndio tuweze kuinua uchumi wa Kenya.
Hii leo mradi ni kuhusiana na mradi wa ujenzi wa gharama ya bei nafuu za nyumba, affordable housing. Je, wewe maoni yako ni yapi kuhusiana na affordable housing, na ungependa itekelezwaje na serikali hapa?
Affordable housing si mbaya, lakini serikali tu ingeangalia uchumi, kwa sababu wananchi wanaumia sana. Ile kutoza ushuru, wananchi wanaumia sana. Kwa hivyo hata kama ni nzuri na manufaa, lakini pengine serikali iangalie tu kuongeza wananchi mishahara, wafanye kazi, tuweze kuwa na maisha mazuri.
Sasa kwa sababu rais atakuwa hapa, serikali yote iko hapa, wito wako kwao ni gani?
Pardon?
Nasema rais atakuwa hapa, serikali mzima itakuwa hapa, wito wako kwa serikali ni gani?
Jaribu tu maisha yawe mazuri, maisha yawe mazuri.
Shukran sana. That is one of the locals telling us expectations that they have towards the government, given that the whole government will be here, from the national all the way to the county government. The affordable housing program, that is the theme of this year's Mashujaa Day celebration. And of course, we were just informed yesterday by none other than the various principal secretaries who are with us for a media breakfast that this particular program will not just be carried out in Kwale County, but in the other 6 counties within the coastal region, so as to ensure that the end of the day are their homeowners. You do know that the minimum requirement of houses, of that affordable housing in each constituency is targeted to be at least at 220. And of course, that is the realization that the Ministry of Housing is trying to attempt at the end of the day, led there by the none other than the Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome and the Principal Secretary, that is Charles Hinga. And of course, these are some of the initiatives the government is trying to put in place to address some of the, not just the housing problems, but to ensure that the slums are eradicated. You have heard numerously the President as well as other representative government representatives talking about the number of slums that just reside in Nairobi County, but in various other parts of the country as well. We need to eradicate them so that we can ensure that people live within their means. And of course, there have been a tip on tap in terms when it comes to how the houses will be issued. The government clearly said that there are guidelines that have been put in place to ensure that those homes go to the right owner. Right now, the employer and the employee are contributing to the housing initiative, and the people in the informal sector, of course, are being roped in. We've even heard from, just if you're just joining us, the Principal Secretary was speaking to our very own, that is John Jacob Kiria, in terms of the SHA rollout that has been witnessed across the country. We've just spoken to the community health promoter, and the Ministry of Health is leveraging on these community health promoters to ensure they reach the target that they have intended initially. That is over 30 million Kenyans. You know that right now 12.8 million Kenyans have registered for SHA. Aside from SHA, we do have the Mashujaas who will be celebrated today, 142 of them, and of course the custodians are at least applauding this initiative, given that over 20 of those Mashujaas that will be feted by President William Ruto and the National Heroes Council are from this region. They come from various sectors. When it comes to the health sector, others are economists, others are philanthropists, others are peacemakers, and of course, if you can, my camera can show you, people are still streaming in. Already the stadium is packed, but as you know, the custom, once the stadium is full, at least residents are allowed to sit in the stadium, inside the stadium, on the ground as well, given that it cannot contain the number of crowds that are still streaming into the Kwale Stadium. As I told you, it's not just the residents of Kwale, but the people across the country as well have been able to come. Let's just continue sampling views of some residents who are already here with us, and of course they are eagerly awaiting the arrival of President William Ruto. We'll just get the views of, let me just move here. Wacha niweze kusonga hapa, niweze kuzungumza na huyu mzee. Mzee, habari yako leo? Kama unaweza simama tu dakika moja, mwacha apite. Unaweza nisimamia tu dakika moja nikusumbue. Tueleze tu, au kuna simama tu hapo tu. Tueleze tu jina lako, matarajio yako ni yapi? Mashujaa iko hapa.
Jina langu naitwa Jonathan Kisilu. Ninashukuru sana kwa ajili ya kwamba matarajio yangu ni kwamba tunashukuru sana wananchi wa hapa Kwale kwa sababu ya kuweza kuja kufanyiwa Mashujaa Day katika sehemu hii ya Kwale. Ni furaha kuu ya kwamba tunapongeza sana gavana wetu Mama Fatuma Achani pamoja na rais wetu Ruto kwa ajili ya kuweza kuona ya kwamba inastahili kuja kufanyia Madaraka Day au Shujaa Day hapa Kwale yetu. Na ni furaha kuu ambayo tunamshukuru rais wetu kwa ajili ya kuona ya kwamba ametujengea stadium mpya ambao hatukutarajia kama tutaweza kuipata watu wa Kwale. Kwa hivyo tunamwombea Mungu sana pamoja na gavana wetu, Mungu aweze kuwabariki na kuendelea katika uongozi wakishirikiana pamoja kwa upendo ili tuweze kuona Kenya yetu inaenda kwa amani, na Mungu awabariki sana.
Baba, kabla ukae, kuna washujaa 142 ambao watatuzwa na rais leo. 20 zaidi ya 20 ni wa kutoka eneo la Pwani. Maybe jambo lako kuhusiana na wito huo.
Wito huo wa mashujaa wetu wa kuweza kujitolea ni kudhihirisha ya kwamba Wapwani wanaendelea vizuri na wanashirikiana kwa umoja na kuweza kuona ya kwamba wanapata mashujaa katika sehemu hii yetu ya Pwani. Sehemu ya Pwani ni sehemu ambayo ina mashujaa wengi, kwa hivyo tunapongeza sana serikali kuu kuona ya kwamba imekubali kuweza kuwaonyesha siku ya leo na kuweza kudhihirisha ya kwamba wanawapenda watu wa Pwani. Kwa hivyo tunamshukuru sana rais wetu na gavana wetu Mama Fatuma Achani kwa ajili ya kuweza kuonyesha ushujaa na upendo wa kushirikiana na serikali yetu kuu kwa ajili ya mashujaa wa Kenya yetu yote nzima. Kuna mashujaa wengi ambao wako katika Kenya nzima. Siku ya leo wataweza kuonyeshwa mahali hapa, na ni pongezi kubwa sana kwa ajili ya kuona ya kwamba Kwale yetu ama Pwani yetu imeweza kuonyesha mashujaa katika siku ya leo. pongezi kubwa sana.
Shukran sana baba. Enjoy. Asante sana. Wacha tuweze kuzungumza na kama unaweza simama tu dakika moja, utueleze jina, umetoka wapi, kama una reside eneo la Kwale, kama unatoka hapa Kwale ama unatoka wapi, alafu tueleze manufaa yapi umeweza kuona tangu Mashujaa imekuja.
Mimi kwa jina Hassan Hussein Ahmed, naishi Kwale, especially Ukunda Diani Beach. Hapa Kwale kuna manufaa kubwa sana, na tumeshukuru kupata hiyo sherehe. Ni mara ya kwanza tangu Kenya mapata uhuru, na mimi nikaa Ukunda Diani Beach mwaka 40. Utawala huu si mbaya, lakini wengine analaumu, lakini kwa bandi wetu iko sawa.
Kwa sababu umesema unaishi Ukunda, pale kuna Diani Beach, kuna wavuvi hapo. Maybe wito wako kwa serikali kuu, si serikali ya county peke yake, serikali kuu ni gani kuimarisha utalii na wavuvi pale?
Utalii umekuwa mzuri zaidi tangu serikali hii imeingia. Hajawahi kuona utalii kama hiyo, ni wengi sana, na uvuvi amebahatika sana. Kwa pale amepewa pesa na anafanya kazi vizuri sana. Sawa bwana.
Shukran sana. And of course the residents are still jubilated that this is the first time that this celebration is coming here, and of course you do know that the national celebrations are being rotated across the 47 involved in it, so as to show equity as well as the beauty within other regions that are residing in various parts of the country. You know, there are 47 counties, and since the start of the rotation of the Mashujaa Day, few counties at least have had the opportunity to host the Mashujaa Day celebration. We just heard from one of the residents just talking about he has resided in Ukunda. Ukunda is just a few kilometers away from Kwale town itself. It is a little bit lively down there, and of course Kwale town has been living in the shadows of Ukunda, given that there is Diani Beach and other resorts that are residing in that particular area. And of course they're just urging the government to ensure even sleepy towns like Kwale County can be resuscitated. Of course they're saying this Mashujaa Day have been able to ensure that the walkways, and of course you know that Kwale town at exactly 5 p.m. the shops are used to be closed down, people used to go home. It's dull, it doesn't have nightlife. But once the Mashujaa Day celebration came here, and of course for the last 2 days or so, the town has been a little bit lively. Areas that have received a lot of some of the apologies for that. Some of the refurbishments and refurbishment is the Kwale town itself. Cabins have been laid, roads have been expanded, as well as the Diani airport itself, which can host now many aircraft can land there. That has not used to be the case in the past. And of course the residents are saying once the tourism season peaks, and of course they'll see a number of them coming into just Diani areas of Ukunda as well as here in Kwale town. Of course we'll continue to bring some of these Kenyans. Right now it's just the entertainment session. We are waiting for the main host, our main guest, who is President William Ruto, First Lady, as well as other leaders within the high-level government. Even the First Lady yesterday was out to the girls and of continuing some of the programs that she has been spearheading, and of course assuring that the government will be there for the girl child as well as the boy child within the respective programs that have been carried out. And of course this lane that we are right now is where the residents are still streaming, and you can see some of the residents are still streaming into the stadium, and of course the security is up to par. But as I told you, if the stadium is full to the brim right now, the residents, after the showcasing of none other than the Kenya Defence Forces troops and other troops from the National Police Service, they'll be allowed to sit at the center of the stadium so as to see and get a chance to see the president during his speech, and other high-level governments will be sitting on the main dais. Also, you've just heard from my colleagues that is come to Menza and Andrew. They are on the section where the Shujaas are 142 of them, and 20 of them, over 20 of them are from this particular region. The residents are still coming in. Let me just get a view of them, and let me just get a chance to kuweza kuzungumza baba na pamoja tuweze kuzungumza nayo hivi. Hii ni runinga ya KBC Channel 1. Tueleze maoni yako ni yepi? Mashujaa iko hapa, unahisi vipi?
Kwa kweli maoni yangu ni mazuri sana. Kwa sababu gani? Ni mara kwanza Kwale kupata Mashujaa Day, kwa shukuru. Na kwa kweli mama Achani amefanya mambo mazuri, kwa sababu uwanja wetu umetengenezwa vizuri, tunasherehekea, tunafurahikia Madaraka Day.
matarajio yako ni gani hasa kwa serikali kuu, kwa sababu itakuwa hapa, rais atakuwa hapa, serikali kuu itakuwa hapa, matarajio yako ni gani?
Matarajio yangu kwamba yale ambayo rais wetu ataongea itafuatisha sisi wale na kwa jumla ya Kenya nzima. Kitu muhimu naamini kwamba rais wetu ataongea mambo ya amani, tukae na amani, sisi kwa kweli tutasherehekea na tunafurahia sana kwa ujio wa rais wetu.
Kwa Wakenya wanaotazama sasa, Kwale inajulikana kwa sababu ya uvuvi na utalii. Labda wito wako kwa serikali ni gani kuimarisha hizo sekta?
Kwa kweli ujio wa rais, nafikiri utalii utazidi kunawiri, kwani kwa sababu sisi mategemeo yetu hapa Kwale ni utalii, na utalii kidogo unapona juu kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ya amani ya Kenya ambayo watu tunashukuru sana kwa ujio wa rais, na utalii kweli utakuwa mzuri zaidi hapa kwa Kwale.
Mwisho kuna mechi baada ya hapa, tutazama hiyo mechi.
Baada ya hapo tutatazama hiyo mechi ya jioni, kwa sababu mimi ni mchezaji wa mpira, kwa hivyo napenda mpira, kwa hivyo naangalia mechi.
Watu wachane na Arsenal na Man U watazame mechi. Watu wachane na Arsenal na Man U watazame mechi.
Leo watu wote waache mambo ya Arsenal na Man U, waangalie mechi kwa Kwale, kwa sababu wote ni pia mambo yote mbali. Nashukuru sana.
And of course you see the jubilation is already written on their faces, and of course there is a match afterwards, after this celebration, while the president comes to the famous goodbye, heads to the mini statement that has been built. This is the first mini statement here in Kwale County. When the president is there, the residents have been urged to not leave the stadium, given that there will be a match. That has been the custom. If you remember the last event that was held in the national celebration, of course it was Gor Mahia's FC Leopards who had a chance to entertain the thousands of people who have come to the area. And of course we're just keeping an eye on the residents here so that they can at least ensure we can get a lot of views. But the stream is still ongoing here. The residents are still coming in, but we'll get a chance to speak to them. Entertainment session. John Jacob Kire is on the other side as well. Let's continue to get views from him, as well as Anburu and as well as Kamche Menza, who are with our heroes and heroines will be feted today by President William Ruto. Let's head over to my colleagues who at least have lined up guests, and we'll continue sampling some of the views of the residents here in Kwale County and other people who have joined us from various parts of the nation itself.
Ilitajwa kuwa Mashujaa, manake ni siku ambayo inawatambua wale waliofanya shughuli ama masuala fulani ya kiujasiri, ama pia inaitwa heroes and heroines. Kwa hivyo ni wanawake na wanaume wote kwa pamoja, si ndio? Na tulikuwa tumewaambia ni wangapi watakaopewa tuzo siku hii ya leo.
146 watapata tuzo na 22 wanatoka eneo la Pwani.
22 wanatoka katika eneo la Pwani. Turuhusu tu tuzungumza na wawili watatu, maana hapa tulipo ni katika hiyo sehemu ambayo wamekaa. Hebu tufuate tu kidogo tuzungumze nao. Habari zenu baba zanguni? Hii KBC mko live. Nyinyi ni Mashujaa, sivyo? Haya, nizungumzie kwa jina lako, uniambie jina lako kwanza, alafu unaambie wapata tuzo gani ama umefanya nini wewe kupata tuzo hii.
Mimi ninaitwa Reverend Clement Wambua. Mimi natoka Machakos na mimi nimepata tuzo ya spiritual life.
Spiritual life, pengine tufafanulie umefanya nini haswa, ama ni katika kutoa chakula cha roho vile?
Mimi nimeunganisha watu wengi sana kama 800. Niliwaunganisha na harusi. Kwa hiyo ukiniita nitakuunganisha.
Kwa hivyo tuseme wewe ndio unaunganisha harusi nyingi sana hapa. Wewe ndio unatambulika kuunganisha
Kenya yote. Sasa mimi nafanya hiyo kazi, na ile kazi nyingine ninafanya ni ya kuleta vijana kwa Kristo. Wale ambao wanakunywa bombe, wanawacha, ninawaambia neno la Mungu, wanaokoka, wanakuja kwa kanisa, na kuna wengi sana ambao walikeugia Yesu, wanafanya kazi ya Mungu.
Kwa hivyo huyo amesema chakula cha kiroho. Umemsikia akisema chakula cha kiroho na kuunganisha watu. Sijui kama
hao ambao niliunganisha wakikosana wanakuja kwangu, ninawaita ninawaunganisha tena na ninasikiliza kama jaji na ninawaambia nende mkae vizuri na murekebishe hii tabia.
Sawa, huyo amesema ameunganisha harusi 800. Hata ndio idadi kubwa hiyo, sijajua. Sijui alifanya utafiti gani, ni shujaa. Atapewa tuzo yake. Nishika tuzo na pili hapa.
Labda pia mzee wangu nitaomba utuanze na majina yako, alafu utatueleza umekuja hapa kwa tuzo gani na umetoka wapi?
Kwa majina naitwa Kansala Christopher Koyogi. Mimi natoka wilaya ya Nandi, kaunti ya Nandi.
Labda ni kipi umefanya ndio leo uweze kutuzwa kama shujaa?
Nimekuwa kansala for 24 years, nikaunganisha wananchi, tulimaliza umoja, tulimaliza amani kwa hiyo area, na tunataka kuunda sheria ya wazee ya kuchunga amani katika Kenya. Hatutaki Kenya tena itoke na machafuko ile haina maana.
Kwa hivyo wewe ni mpenda amani na unahakikisha
kuchunga amani. Tutaunganisha wananchi wote wa Kenya na tutaunganisha na viongozi na watu wa kanisa mpaka Kenya inakuwa Kenya nyingine tofauti.
Asante sana. Labda pia tutaweza kupata shujaa mwingine hapa. Uweze kunieleza tu jina lako, alafu nieleze umetoka eneo gani na leo wewe ni shujaa. Kwa nini wewe leo ni shujaa?
Asante KPC team. Kwa majina naitwa George Nyakundi, natoka Gusirand, sehemu ya Matoke, mahali inaitwa Nyamira County. Mimi ni shujaa kwa sababu nimeangalia watu wanaongea Kisungu mingi sana. Kila kitu ni ya Kisungu, lakini sisi ni Waafrika na tunatetea mila na desturi ya Mwafrika, dawa ya Waafrika, lugha yetu na culture. So leo nimekuja hapa kama shujaa wa indigenous knowledge. Tunatetea wazee wa kongwe, kina mama wa kongwe. Unajua wakati mwingine wanachinjwa, wanakatwa, ukiseeka unaitwa mchawi. Lakini tunataka kuwaambia watu wetu wa Kenya kuwa hata wewe utaseeka, na ukiseeka uko na ile akili ya Mwafrika. Hizo ndio tumefanya huko Gusirand under Mwanyagetinge Heritage Council. Hata hapa Kaya tumekuja hapa, watu wananyongwa. Tunataka wazee waheshimiwe.
Asante sana kwa kuwa shujaa wa wazee, kuhakikisha kuwa wazee wanalindwa katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Labda mami, utatueleza na majina yako. Utaanza na majina yako, alafu utanieleza kwa nini uko hapa leo, ni tuzo gani unapewa ya mashujaa.
Kwanza
anza na majina yako.
Nasikia kweli? Nataka pia nisikie ile nasema.
Hauwezi kusikia mama, wewe niambie, ueleze mtazamaji.
Mimi kwanza ndangauliza jina ile kubwa ya majina yote kwanza, alafu ndio niseme yangu.
Nataka unieleze jina lako ni nani?
Nimalizia lakini msinikate. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa ajili ya neema ya Yesu Kristo. King of Kings. Naitwa Eunice Nekesa. Nimekuja hapa kwa ajili nililetea Kenya Gold 1978.
Labda ni tuzo gani ambayo unapewa? Kwa nini leo unapewa tuzo?
Na leo hiyo mkuki, yani nifanya, si ndio hiyo? Yeye imenifanya nikuja hapa ni mkuki. Kurusha yani upande wa sports. 1978. Nilisalamia babangu ya kwanza mkono.
Wewe ni mchezaji mashuhuri wa kurusha mkuki.
Ile ni mkuki, ile ni Mungu alinipatia. Sasa leo hii tena tangu 78 president wa Peter wa 4. Hii leo ndio nimesikia.
Guys of today were the ones who were in your shoes yesterday, and as we celebrate our heroes today, tomorrow we could be celebrating you.
And this celebration of the Coast Region, as governors from the Coast Region, how do you feel about the celebrations coming together?
Amazing. All leaders are here. We are here. Level of patriotism, loving the country over everything else.
Thank you very much.
Governor Kilifi Minaraide. Thank you.
How do you feel about the celebration?
I feel happy that has come to Kwale. I hope sooner or later the president also will ask him to come to Kilifi. We are so happy that because as they celebrate Mashujaa, we had one of our own, the Katilili Wanenza. So it's so nice that this celebration has come to us.
Kilifi obviously has a good number of people who participated in the freedom of this country. Do you feel like they've been honored enough?
More could be done. Yeah.
More could be done.
Yeah.
We are in a period of political transition of some sort. How do you feel about this process? What is your message to Kenyans at this point of a political transition of some sort?
I think we just ask Kenyans to be peaceful as all these happenings at the moment. The both houses of the country, National Assembly and Senate, made their verdicts. The other party is still pursuing their constitutional rights. We just ask everybody to be peaceful and let all the processes take its course. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Governor Gideon Munao of Kilifi. Let me just quickly grab this interview from the woman rep Mombasa.
Kwa sababu ya kwamba ni mambo na maendeleo, na pia vile vile tunasema katika mashujaa haya leo ambao tunasherehekea, tujue kuwa vijana pia ni mashujaa, na tuone mipango kambambe ya kuhakikisha vijana wamepata ajira na vijana wamepata miradi ambayo itawawezesha waweze kuwa Wakenya ambao wako na heshima na Wakenya ambao wanaweza kujitegemea, kwa sababu tukifanya hivyo tu ndio tutaweza kuweka ili taifa kuwa na umoja, kwa sababu hizo na jana tulikuwa na sitofahamu na hatutaki sitofahamu. Tunataka Mheshimiwa Rais vile alivyofanya kuweka umoja wa Wakenya na kuondoa hizi sitofahamu katika taifa la Kenya, asisitize umoja wa Wakenya, viongozi waweze kushirikiana. Na niweze kusema Mheshimiwa Raila na Mheshimiwa Ruto leo nitasema pia ni mashujaa wangu, kwa sababu wakati kulikuwa na zilizala katika taifa letu la Kenya, waliweza kuongea na wakasema lazima nchi iwe na utulivu, lazima nchi iwe na amani, na hiyo ndio tunasema ni ushujaa, kwa sababu kuwa shujaa ni kuweza kuleta amani, kuleta maendeleo katika taifa. Kina mama pia wasiweke nyuma katika nyanja za uongozi. Shukrani kina mama, sasa hivi tuko na wasaba, lakini tunasema tunataka kuwa na kina mama 24 wakiwa magavana katika jamhuri yetu ya Kenya.
Asante sana. Mheshimiwa Likoni, that is the Honorable Mishi Mboko. There's something quite interesting about the celebrations today. It is because the person who will be commanding the parade, that is Lieutenant Colonel Mwagadi, is actually the first female commanding officer for what we would say the parade that is happening today, and that's a first instance for the country. And of course we'll continue grabbing several interviews. You can bring the Honorable Soro here as you address Pwani FM. Is still sister station, so you can go ahead.
Very fine, thank you. It's a very good day today. It's Mashujaa Day. We are all Shujaas in our own rights. We come here to celebrate and to also enjoy our diversity. All the way from the farthest part of this country, people have flocked here in numbers to really enjoy and see our diversity, even as we celebrate our heroes, our national heroes that made us get to this level. Yeah.
What are your expectations today as the President addresses the nation from Prague?
Very basic. To celebrate the legends that live within us, the legends that have helped or rather touched the lives of others in one way or another. In the yesteryears, we used to celebrate those people who fought for independence. But there is post-independence. The post-independent are people who've really worked so hard to put the Kenyan flag on the map, flying very high. And that is, the athletes of this world, or this country, the football legends, the political legends, and even great leaders, that have really done a lot of things in this country, in the recent past especially, in different sectors. Yeah.
But in a political transition of some sorts, you know what you did in the National Assembly and what the Senate did. What would be your message to Kenyans?
I hope that even the President will celebrate the heroes that have fought for the independence of our independent institutions like the National Assembly. That heroic act of the Honorable Mtuse and the 117 members that signed, of 184 members that signed, and then the 282 that voted to eject the Deputy President, those are heroes. Like, we have come of age to stand for the Constitution. That at this point in age, a sitting Deputy President can be impeached? Really? then that is a great milestone for our constitution. We should actually be honored as heroes because now it's a good milestone. I mean, like sitting deputy president being discussing the floor of the house, and we also thank the president. He didn't interfere with that process. He did not call us. He did not instruct any member on what to do because he appreciates the fact that we are independent. You know, and I think Parliament as a whole, both the National Assembly and the Senate, should be celebrated. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mashujaa, and happy Mashujaa Day. We continue with the live coverage of the Mashujaa Day celebrations through the VIP entrance. Interestingly, the conversation around the deputy presidency is a conversation that really must come out clear really here at the Kwale Stadium. Of course, we've seen the deputy president designate Kithure Kindiki receiving the president at the Kwale State Lodge, where there will be a state reception. But it's also clear that he's yet to take up that position owing to a court process. The deputy president who's been impeached, that is the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, has also wished Kenyans Mashujaa. They have seen that on his social media pages. So today is a special Mashujaa Day of some sorts. But what is most important is the speciality of the person commanding the guard of honor the president will inspect. For the first time, we have a female officer, Lieutenant Colonel Faith Mwagandi, who is going to be commanding this parade and will be leading the president in the inspection of the guard of honor. This has never happened before. And the Lieutenant Colonel is from the Kenya Navy Force, the Kenya Navy Force of the Kenya Defense Forces. That's where she is from, and it will be interesting again to see how this rolls out. You've seen parades so many other times, but never before has it been commanded by a female officer. Lieutenant Colonel Faith Mwagandi is in charge of that process today. We are at the VIP entrance, and we continue to see, of course, to look at the number of VIPs that are making their way. In a bit, we'll be showing you a shot of the Commander-in-Chief armored vehicle that will be taking him around the stadium as he receives greetings from Kenyans, and we'll be showing you that in a bit. But for now, let me hand you back to Abdiaziz or Kamchemenza for a feel of what is happening inside the stadium.
Well, of course, thank you so much, John Jacob Kuria on the other side, for giving us an update from the VIPs who are coming in. And of course, as I told you today, it is Mashujaa Day. It is in the name. 142 of them will be feted today by President William Ruto. You do know that the National Heroes Council has been playing a critical role to ensure that the Shujaas are identified. Out of the 50 million Kenyans, you are out there, you could have done something exceptional, but at the end of the day, this process has been transparent. And just to join us and tell us how that process was carried out and they arrived at 142 Shujaas that will be fitted today is none other than the National Heroes Council Chief Executive Officer. Asante sana kwa kuungana nasi. Sijui tuongee Kiswahili, tuongee Kizungu, yoyote ile utataka tueleze. Wakenya wanauliza 50 million of them. How did you identify 142?
Thank you so much na karibuni kwa Mashujaa ya mwaka huu Kwale. Nashukuru sana kwa kazi ambayo inaendelea nzuri, na tunazidi kujumuika na the public to ensure that the nominations are done in order. So in our act, the first principle which guide the nomination, in our act we have 14 categories. We have liberation struggle, maybe just to mention a few. We have sports, we have human rights, we have peacemaking, we have scholarship, we have entrepreneurship, and all those give us direction on how we start doing our nomination, which means we should have Shujaas at each and every of those categories. We make a call to the public through MyGov to reach our website and give us their nomination, whom they feel has done work exceptionally within their region, even any other place. So we received those calls. This time we received over 300,000, and we have 300 of them. And over 300. It is over 300. And through that we received at each and every category as required. The point of how do you reduce it from 50 million Kenyans to 300 is because from the call we have made, we only act with what we have received. There are only sometimes we look at special categories when people have not brought us anybody like a disabled or all that. We take time to search out through different categories. We can ask sports people to give us. And also if there are some key personalities in sports who have done well in sport like the Olympics and marathons, we also make through the PS and the CS to give us those names. They are key artists also. Sometimes we can go another mileage because of they are known, and we ask the principal institutions like Kenya Cultural Center, PPMC, to also nominate people to us as a matter of building up into an alignment within the Act. So we sift through these nominations and we get the best. Sometimes we can't bring everybody here. We are limited with space also. And also you can't say you can continue honoring all Kenyans at a go. Otherwise we shall kill the process. So there are limits, and we make it happy by one time or another to nominate these people. I can tell you from this time a very interesting part. We nominate a sports person from Bungoma who won gold in javelin 1978. She could not believe it. But because of our research, we have a research institution and a team which works looking around. We nominated that lady. She's over the moon. She's very, very happy. She said for the first time, government has recognized. She's feeling like this is great. So we are moving away from what was happening before in the nomination of heroes. We want to involve the public as much as we can do. I remember when we have gotten out the 142 name, we take it back to the public to sanction and tell us whether there's something wrong or right for 14 days. For 14 days. So we believe, like, you don't call us and tell us I don't like so-and-so, I don't like Abdallah. No. There are protocols for saying no. Give us an affidavit that you believe Abdallah is not right. So we also sieve the people. Somebody can just hate you by your name and say, I don't want so-and-so. So there are protocols for denying somebody that honor. We will go through it. And also we'll say, okay, this one does not meet the right. We also work with NIS. We also work with all government security. They sit in our committee to verify some of these names. So it's my belief that whatever the council is doing is an all-round search for, with proper integrity, to see that we change the thinking, the norms people have been building up about what Heroes Council is doing. The honor is given to us. We are now trying to implement our Act, Kenya Heroes Act 2014, and I believe I have a council with a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom. I have Jimmy Angwenyi there, Honorable. As the chair, I have Gitu Wakaingeri, a freedom fighter who's almost 99 years old. I have Leonard Mambo there. I have Reverend Labaia. I have Hussein. These are people with experience. They are teachers. They would not wish for anything to go wrong. And that wisdom we get from them brings out the best way we are trying to ensure that let the public also feel us. We know we are just beginning. We are trying to make it have more publicity to come. Like this one is also part of publicity we are appreciating as we are on the stadium, to ensure that the public understands what we do. We are open for any critique. That one we put it rightly, and any opinion which can come to us, we shall appreciate.
And of course, out of the 142 of them, 24 are from the coast region. People are elated about that. So tell us about the uniqueness about this 142 people. What did they do? What did you see they did that was so exceptional? Especially, what was the theme that guided you this year?
Well, I tell you, we are guided by the 14 categories. You can't go out of it because it's an act. But the people we have, I could mention just a few. We have Daudi Tonje is being honored. I don't know whether anybody have a challenge with that. The work he did in the forces, everybody knows. General Mohammed is also being honored. I'm very happy about it. We have Agustin Cheruyot, who is here with us in the stadium. Very, very happy about this honor. We have Abbas Gulit, who is here with us. We have one of the blood donors, number one of 5 times. I don't know how many people, some of us have done maybe 6 times. He's here with us. So we have Don Motif, an artist known very well. We have the young boy, Luis from Nyeri, who went back to save his colleagues when there was fire in their school. So we are trying to pick some of the areas which are more current, and we go back also posthumously. Like now we are honoring, as we are in the course, Metekilili Wamenza officially to be honored for the works he did for our liberation struggle. So it's a rich honor we are giving, and the people are ready. Some can be interviewed. I know some of you have interviewed some of them, and it's a very key honor we are giving to them.
And maybe just to the public who are watching right now, not within the confines of this stadium, just tell them, once that Shujaa is fettered, what is it expected? Are there remuneration or are their status at least changes for the better?
That's a very, very key question, because the council is moving away from getting an honor and being a dead end. It's not like that. To explain this, I'll take you a little bit backward what we did last year. After the honor, we told them to form welfare groups in their region to work together. So if you have environmentalists and they have some work to do, they go do it. Like this year in June, we supported the environmentalist heroes in Mombasa at Chuda Creek to plant mangrove, which I visited just before coming here the other day. The trees are doing very well. So we are working on how to support each other. Whenever there is any activities under government directive which can be worked by a group, those welfare groups they are formed help us. We are also telling them after honor is not a way to stop. Yesterday I had a meeting with them and I told them, don't go and get the honor medal and sleep with it. Do more now. Be motivated to do it. We are looking at how best we can use those heroes, even for peacemaking, for cohesion. We visited Marsabit. And remember, we are honoring posthumous, all the 14 who died in Marsabit for the first time, after almost 18 years, from 2006 to date. So we are telling them, if you are honored on peacemaking, Kenya needs peacemakers. Why don't you be in the forefront as a hero who has been honored by the head of state and do your work? If you are an environmentalist, planting trees is the key thing in this government. Go. If you are an artist, how do you moderate the celebrations of the artist? Isn't it? So we are honoring, talking to them to do even more on what they have been honored on. It's not stopping there. And I'm happy even some of last year's heroes are with us here to share with the others the importance of coming together as a unit, and we are building up a bigger unit which can be working together with the council to do some work.
And maybe your final remarks to the Kenyans who are listening and watching the proceedings from Kwale Stadium.
Thank you so much, most of the Kenyans who are listening to us from Kwale. First of all, we appreciate you. Know that we have a council now which is very much dedicated to honor you, and be watching around June, July for our call, so that you can also nominate persons who have identified who have done good work, so that nomination can reach us. And we are telling you that it's important for us not to leave anybody behind, because we are a small unit, we can't see everything. You who are in those regional areas, help us identify good people whom we can honor and celebrate them. When we honor them and celebrate them, we are bringing a cohesion in this country. We are making them emulate a good united Kenya for the future and for the goodness of this country.
Thank you so much. And of course, that is the National Heroes Council's Chief Executive Officer, who have been touring around Kwale County and of course various parts of the country. We've just heard out of the 142, 24 are from the coastal region, and they have been confining themselves within the 14 key areas. We've just heard from the CEO that this year it has all been about peace, and there are peacemakers, several of them who have been identified at the end of the day, even lieutenants who are serving within the Kenya Defence Forces, generals, major generals as well, commanders will be of course feted in the list of 142 Shujaas. And of course right now, any moment from now, we do anticipate the main guests to arrive. Already the podium has filled to the brim. That is the VIP section, and of course the leaders from governors and members of parliament, senators, as well as members of the county assembly, and men and women in uniform have already arrived. The chief guest, President William Ruto, First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto, also. And as you can see, a motorcade of that is the National Assembly Speaker, that is Moses Masika Wetangula, now arriving into the stadium. We do know even the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi will be here. Even the Senator who was serving in the administration, that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, Jeffer Amason Kingi, will also be arriving here following that momentous process we witnessed in the National Assembly. And of course, the key guests are arriving any moment from now. If you see the key guests arriving right now, it means any moment from now we do anticipate the leaders to arrive. Even from here, I can see the Senator Majority Leader, that is Aaron Cheriot, and a host of legislators already to the podium itself. This will be the main road once the President will be arriving with his motorcade. Will be heading over, of course, to the main entrance. And of course, once the President arrives, you will see him boarding the special car from the Kenya Defence Forces, and he'll tour around the stadium greeting the residents before he goes to do the guard of honor. Already the men and women in the Kenya Defence Forces from Navy, Army, as well as the Air Force are already lined up at the middle of the stadium. Any moment from now, the head of state will be arriving. Just heard from the expectations from Kenyans and the leaders alike, talking about what they expect from the head of state to address on. Given that this is the coastal region, they anticipate to hear more about economy, the fishing industry, the tourism sector, how they can be improved on so that it can ensure at the end of the day people are living out of that. Given that this is the coastal region, that is their main business. And of course here in Kwale, agriculture also is very key, and you do know the government right now is, of course, and there you have it. The governor has arrived, and you see the eruption within the stadium. That is Fatuma Achani, who has just arrived into the stadium. Any moment from now, she is being ushered. She will be ushered into the main dais or the main podium. And of course, she is the host governor of this year's Mashujaa Day, the 61st of its kind, and the first in Kwale County. Fatuma Achani, you do know she has been working closely with the national government, especially in realization of this over 10,000-seater stadium that we are in right now. Even we showed you earlier on images of the stadium. It's already packed to the brim, and many residents who are being informed are still outside there. We do hope that they'll be allowed into the stadium to see the entertainment.
The arrival of the Deputy President Designate, the Honorable Kithure Kindiki, who has just arrived at the Kwale Stadium. At the spot now, all we expect is the arrival of the President, because there appears to be no other protocols beyond that. Professor Kithure Kindiki has arrived, the Deputy President Designate. Of course, you had to see the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, but so far the Honorable Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, has arrived. And so has the Governor for Kwale County, the Honorable Fatma Achani, who has also made her way to the stadium. The Prime Cabinet Secretary has also arrived, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. So largely, what we just waiting for is the arrival of His Excellency the President. But our camera is fixed at the VIP entrance, where the guests will be making their way through, and let's see who this is. That is the Speaker of the Senate. That is Amason Jeffer Kingi, the Speaker of the Senate, Amason Jeffer Kingi, and so has the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, arrived. So the two speakers are here. And Anna Gertrude Mbeyu of Kilifi County, the woman representative, has also arrived. So what we expect at this point, the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, and probably the entourage from the judiciary, and then the arrival of His Excellency the President. The big question is, will the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, make his way here following what has transpired over the last 2 weeks, part of it being him being impeached and the replacement already gazetted, Professor Kithure Kindiki being gazetted as the Deputy President. Only that there was a court order that has barred his swearing in as a Deputy President. The government is in the courts of justice, led by the Attorney General Dorcas Oduor, challenging those orders. And the idea here is to ensure that Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki is sworn in as a Deputy President in the coming days, and preferably next week. The prayers to lift those orders yesterday was denied. So much of any outcome regarding the swearing in of a Deputy President would have to be on Tuesday, because it is presumed that tomorrow is also a public holiday. The Mashujaa celebrations right here at the Kuala Stadium. The first Mashujaa celebrations, of course, under the 2010 Constitution, were held in Nairobi. You remember the last year's celebrations were in Kericho County. There are several other counties that have hosted Mashujaa Day, but Mashujaa Day is not the only holiday that is celebrated outside Nairobi County. There are other counties really that have hosted the Mashujaa Day celebrations, including the last time being the Madaraka Day celebrations that were held. The Madaraka Day celebrations, as you will remember, were also celebrated outside Nairobi County. So it's a norm now in government where celebrations, the national celebrations, are taken outside the county of Nairobi, where normally they used to be held traditionally. The last one were held in Bungoma County of the Western Kenya region. VIPs, of course, continue to trickle in into the stadium, but much of what we are waiting for is the arrival of the President. Continue to await the arrival of His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. We are yet to locate the Chief Justice, or probably could have come in through another route, because there are 2 VIP gates to access the stadium. But our eyes are much more transfixed on where the President will enter through. suspect that's the regional commissioner of the coast region, making his way also to the grounds. And looks like we have the president. Here we go. President William Ruto has arrived to officiate the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kwale County. And here he comes, the man of the moment, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable William Ruto, who is going to preside over this event. Of course, you see the formation, the arrow formation of the speed bikes. This arrow formation is for the protection and the honor of the office of President. And this will mark the commencement of the Mashujaa Day celebrations. It's now official that we are kickstarting the Mashujaa Day celebrations right here in Kwale County. After disembarking from his official vehicle, he will board the ceremonial vehicle that is reserved for the Commander-in-Chief, and of course received there by General Charles Moreu Kahariri, the Kenya Defence Forces Chief of Defence Forces. He will then proceed to receive greetings from Kenyans aboard that ceremonial Land Rover. We'll now hand you over to the stadium, of course, as it prepares to receive His Excellency the President as he makes his way into the stadium.
Kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Rais tukiongozwa na bendi ya Maroon. Hadi baadaye. Hadi baadaye. Mheshimiwa Rais, sherehe ya Mashujaa, wapi shangwe na vigelegele kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. Moja, mbili, karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Moja, karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Wanafunzi
wanafunzi, peperusha bendera. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Boma langu, nyumba yangu, mimi ni shujaa. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, eneo gatuzi la Kwale katika sherehe ya Mashujaa. Tuendelee kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Rais kwa makofi, mabibi na mabwana, anapojiunga nasi katika eneo gatuzi la Kwale, sherehe ya Mashujaa. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Moja. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya Mashujaa. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele, wanafunzi, peperusha bendera. Hongera mashujaa wetu. Mkiwa mkono wa kulia wa jukwaa, tumsalimie Mheshimiwa Rais, mashujaa wetu kwa furaha. Mashujaa hoye! Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Mashujaa kwa shangwe tumsalimu Mheshimiwa Rais anapojiunga nasi katika sherehe ya Mashujaa eneo gatuzi la Kwale. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Kauli mbiu, boma yangu, nyumba yangu, mimi ni shujaa. Asante sana, asante sana Maroon. Asante sana Maroon Commandos. Niombe tubaki tukiwa tumesimama kwa wimbo wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Kasola kanachoma bana. Ati Comrades power. Kuna jaa bila kwamba inafaa. Kuna jaa bila kunafaa. Yo. This is Uhuru Park manze, kama unaweza fika kindly hakikisha unafika tafadhali. Usikose kuja Uhuru Park. Leo tuko memorials ya our heroes, our heroines manze. Usikose kufika. Kama unaweza fika, jifikishe mwenyewe manze. Tuko huku kwa sababu yako. Mambo matamu, mambo mazuri. Kula ni dance ni ya kudonjo. Na kufika kabisa Rejea Finance Bill vile inafaa bana. Manze walai walitufanyia vibaya bana, walituulia watu bana. Haikuwa poa hata kidogo. I'm back manze, the field. Una presa ponenda. JP bro, unilete stand yako hapa Uhuru Park, alafu kisha unilete na hapo banki yako tafadhali. Nitasimamia pia. Ja, stand na power bank, yeah? Yeah. Ukaisi. Angalia uniambie venye itakuwa. Haya bet. Mazee huku dance ni kali kali huku.
Shining on my face Roots get me high so I can levitate. Highest words with the dreams of brighter days. Giving thanks, giving thanks, giving thanks. Giving thanks, as time goes by, giving thanks and
watu wamejaa huku. DJ arudishe ngoma DJ. DJ arudishe wimbo. Guys, kama unaweza fika manzee huku hakikisha unafika manzee. Leo tuna celebrate our heroes manzee, our heroines manzee. Wote tuna celebrate leo manzee. Manzee hakikisha kama unaweza unafika. Kabisa bana wewe. Kabisa yani pale YouTube unahakikisha unafika, una subscribe to wewe subscribe to wewe. Asalimie DJ bwana, DJ. Oya MC rada yako MC. Oya MC Godha. Oh guys, so tukisubiria manzee, hakikisheni mnafika pale YouTube manzee, mna subscribe Hamu TV 254, kampuni kubwa hii bana. Manzee tuko huku manzee, tunawafikishia everything live and direct manzee. Tuko live manzee kabisa vile ambavyo kwamba inafaa.
Because we have liftoff. Everybody telling me to. Everybody telling me to. Everybody telling me to. All over America. Everybody telling me to. Everybody telling me to. Everybody telling me to.